This brief video provides an explanation to members of the GPatScale online learning network about how to edit your profile. There are two types of profile. There's your own personal profile, and if you're the authorized lead for an organization, there's an organizational profile. This video focuses on your personal profile. When you're logged into the network, the top menu, which is dark black in color, will show a link to My Profile, and under the My Profile link is a link to Edit My Profile. This can be accessed from any page on the Learning Network. Clicking on Edit My Profile brings up the Edit Profile Member Profile screen. This is shown here. Now we can see the different elements of the profile editing screen. There's the title, so that's usually your name. There'll be an explanation here inviting you to complete your member profile, the main description, and also an explanation inviting you to complete a one-sentence summary about yourself. Then you've also got various other elements of the editing screen, such as the contact details, telephone number, mobile, etc. Then you'll also have other elements, and you can show and hide different elements of the screen here using the screen options, so that expands and collapses as you click on it. And the same is true of each of the editing modules on the screen. You can click on the header element of the module to collapse it or expand it, and in this way you can move various elements around like that. Okay, and let's go and start editing some of the content. So what type of information might we see here? Well, firstly, there are two tabs here on the top. The first is a visual tab and the second is a text tab. The main difference here is the visual tab provides an as-is view, if you like, of your profile. So what you put in here, you're likely to see as it will appear on the screen. This means that if you do some formatting, then you'll see that formatting visually represented in front of you, which is why it's known as the visual screen. On the other hand, the text screen will actually show the underlying code. That's the HTML code behind that. So previously on the visual, when I emboldened the text, we saw it go bold in front of our eyes. On the text screen, we can see that there are HTML tags for strong, which indicates bold, around the text that I highlighted. So I'm just going to undo that and get some copy and put that in. So this is the type of thing we might see. Quick description about what it is that I do, who I work for, what the organisation is about. Perhaps I might want to explain to people something about my learning interests, or perhaps I've got some expertise in working at scale, in which case I might want to indicate that and let other members know that I'm willing to share that expertise if they're looking for support in a particular area. Over here then, in terms of the contact details, landline, mobile, website, all fairly self-explanatory. This box here is quite interesting, basically inviting you to indicate whether you want to receive email updates from the GPatScale program. The program is looking to produce a monthly newsletter which will give you perhaps an at-a-glance view of some of the latest things that have been added to the Learning Network. It could be forthcoming events of interests, it might be interesting discussions that have been posted, that type of thing. Generally, I'd advise you to say yes if you want to receive that. Obviously, if you don't want to receive the email updates, indicate no and you won't receive emails from the program. We've got things like Twitter profiles, LinkedIn profiles, Skype usernames. All these are fairly helpful for other members to find further information about you. Over here we've got the publish module. Obviously, once you've decided you're happy with the information that's on your profile, you can publish it. It's really important to note that by default, when you join the Learning Network, your profile is marked as draft. That means it isn't published, it isn't therefore visible to other members of the network. So I would really encourage you, when you first join the network, to put some information on your profile and to actually publish it. Profile is not published, you'll see instead of this update button, a publish button here. You can save as draft, you can preview what your profile is going to look like on the network before you decide to publish it. Once you're happy with it, you can publish it. So I'm going to publish this one. And then over on the right hand side, we've got some other modules such as the featured image. This is an image which will appear on your profile if you decide to share one. If you don't share an image of yourself, a standard icon will appear on your profile, typical kind of user icon, but obviously helpful for people to put a face, if you like, to a name or a face to a profile. Once again, it will help create that connectedness between yourself and the other members of the learning network. Another module further down on the right hand side, we've got details about you, your membership type, your organization, your learning interest, that type of thing. So as I work for a commercial organization, I've indicated that I'm a commercial member as opposed to a clinical member. Perhaps you might work for a general practice, therefore part of the NHS. You might indicate that you're a clinical. And then if I scroll further down, you can link to your organization if it's already here. If you're the authorized lead for an organization, by clicking this, not only will you have a personal profile of your own, as everyone does on the network, you will also be the editor responsible for your organizational profile. And as with your personal profile, your organizational profile helps other members find out about the organization that you work for. So if your organization is working at scale or is looking to work at scale, completing your profile can help other people find out about what it is you're trying to do. They can connect with you, they can share learning with you, they can perhaps ask you for expertise. Decide on your organization type, a number of different types there that you can select from. You can complete your job title, some standard stuff here, what role you play in your organization, perhaps where the location, where you're based, where you work, your learning interests. So here we can select all of the interests that we're interested in. Only select those that you are interested in, and what that does is it means that your profile, as well as other parts of the network, there are some key pages of the network which are related to these main learning topics or learning interests, and all of the content can be classified against these topic areas, and those topic pages will show the content that's related to those particular topics. So if I indicate, for example, that I'm interested in leadership, that means that my personal profile will appear along with other content on the leadership topic page. Final thing over here on the contact details was the address. Now what happens here is as you enter your address and then hit the return or the enter key on your keyboard, what should happen is the GPS plotting tool will plot the location of your address on a Google map. That can then be very helpful for people. So I'm just going to save this now and then have a quick look at my profile. So if I click on view member profile up here or view profile over here, or click on the permanent link, we can see the result of the editing work that we've just completed. So there's the title, there's the featured image, there's the description that I entered, all of my contact details are here. Perhaps I've put information about my Twitter profile, and if that's the case, my latest tweet will be on here. That will enable other users to send a direct message to me because I've indicated that I've got a Twitter profile. Equally, because I've indicated that I've got a Skype username, other users can connect with me via Skype. They can either call me via Skype or chat with me via Skype. Some of the other information that we entered, the job role, the location, learning interests, and then finally underneath the profile is the information about the content that I've actually personally published on the network. So if I click on director, for example, as I mentioned before, we can see all of the details of all of the members who've indicated that they've got a job role that is director. So we can see them all listed there. Equally, if I go back and click on, let's say, the location, click on Greater Manchester, what we can find is that there are 36 items on the Learning Network, whether that be organisations or members who've indicated that they are working in this particular location. That's all for now. There'll be other videos published soon.